Gobble, 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 gobble. Gobble. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. I know it's not quite Thanksgiving yet, but I probably won't make a vlog before then, so I just wanted to wish you all a very happy holiday out there. Only the ones in the United States that are watching this would even care at this point, but happy Thanksgiving anyway. So, what do I have to talk about? Well, let's see. There's a few things. First off, I need to apologize to you, Hannah1721. It looks like I may not be making my dare anytime soon after all. You may ask why. I will tell you. The friends that I would have probably asked to videotape said dare. Yeah, I'm not allowed to talk to them anymore. And I know how weird that sounds, but it's actually true. So, until I find friends who are willing to be cool, I won't be doing any of that. Yeah. In other news, that's pretty much why my life has been so topsy-turvy lately. It kind of got really sucky because of some bad judgment calls that I made about a month ago. So right now I'm actually a lot better right now. It's been about a week now, and you know, I kind of recharged my batteries, got a little bit going. I'm feeling good about it. Ate some waffles, and now I'm good to go. Also, weird timing. So that all went down. I'm not going to get into details because it's not worth it. But basically, I have 3 friends at home right now. Used to have about a dozen. So, but yeah. So right after all this stuff went down, I ended up getting this email from a girl who I haven't really talked to in about 2 years. Her name's Annie, and she works at my old college. She's doing this thing called the College Advising Corps. And she just accepted a job as a district aide for a legislator in Massachusetts, so she can't do the position anymore. So I'm the guy that she thought of to ask if I would be interested in the position, and I was like, wow, that's like a big honor, because she's basically, if I do get the position, she's basically handing over kids that she's been dealing with for, you know, the last 3 months, and she has enough trust in me to think that I would actually be able to do a decent job with them, which means a lot, you know. It was definitely a beacon of light in my ever-darkened life at that point. Yeah, so thanks. So that should be exciting, especially if I get the job, because then I get to move back to my old school area, I get to hang out with some friends who I haven't been with in a while, and in general, it's probably a much better atmosphere for me to be in than what I'm in right now. There's not that much new in my life. This past weekend, I went down to New York City. I went down and stopped in New Paltz on Friday night and hung out with 2 of my really close friends, and they're both RDs at New Paltz, so it was kind of cool. You know, they've definitely gone the path that I kind of want to head on. And then from there on Saturday morning, I drove down to the city to Astoria to hang out with my friend Johnny T. And I will put a link to his YouTube over there or over there. I'm not sure which way. This thing is going to mirror things once I upload it, so just look. And me and him on Saturday, we went into the city, and we went to the Museum of Sex. It's not just a porno show, I'll just put it right out there right now. It's actually quite educational, you'd be surprised, and I suggest it for anyone over the age of 18. To those 17 and 16-year-old girls who are walking around there, I saw you. I saw your faces. I'm judging you. See this? This is judgment. And then from the Museum of Sex, we went to a UCB show. That's Upright Citizens Brigade, for you guys that don't know. And the night's act was Death by Ruru, which were absolutely hilarious. They're a great improv troupe. Definitely suggest checking out UCB if you get a chance and you're in the city. Totally worthwhile. $10, hour show. Can't really beat it. So yeah, that's basically everything that's really new in my life. So let's go to some news for a change. You know, why not? Let's toss that in. Has anyone really thought about clone aid lately? For those of you who have no idea what I'm talking about or just can't remember the news from a few years back, Clone Aid was an organization founded by the Ryalians. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, so I'm going to write it right over here. No, I'm going to write it right over here. There we go. So they were they are a religious sect, I guess you would call them, who are really big into perfecting the human body, nuclear energy, using all of our resources as well as we can, that kind of stuff. So they have a lot of stuff that makes sense, but they were a huge controversial group back when because they had this company, Clone Aid, which claimed to have given cloning capability and created the first human clone. Now, this was back in, I want to say 2000, something like that. And at the time, it made news all over the place. You saw the guy with the crazy long hair who has lots of sexual beings that he has sex with, and I'm jealous. But at the same time, they have apparently now cloned 5 individuals. So there's 5 clone babies out there, the oldest being something like 5 years old now. And they've decided to allow everyone to purchase this capability if they'd like. So you can clone yourself. You can also save your genetic material. Splooge in a bag, they'll save it for you. Have your eggs preserved. Pretty much anything that you want to think that's sci-fi and cloning human beings, they can kind of do. So I'm thinking that the clone army isn't that far away, if you're a Star Wars fan. If not, go watch the Star Trek trailer. It's awesome. Speaking of the Star Trek trailer, I went and saw Quantum of Solace on opening night. Awesome! I was really tired though, and I was up on a high, like a caffeine high, because I played poker earlier with my best friend, and he fell asleep during the movie, and I drank enough caffeine to kill an elephant from a heart attack. And I also had a martini shaken not stirred right before the show, so that was kind of cool. I was a little bit buzzed. I was a little bit hyped up. It was really awesome. It was a great film. Not as great of a story as the first one that what's his name was in, the Casino Royale, but it was very action-packed, very worth the money. So if you haven't gone and seen it yet, go see Quantum of Solace, and you'll notice 2 trailers at the beginning that are absolutely spectacular. The first of, and not the least of, being Star Trek, which looks like it's going to be an awesome film. They've really reboosted the entire series by doing this film, and I think that it's a great cast that they've chosen, and it's going to be very lively, action-packed, and sexual. Also, Watchmen, and for those of you who haven't read the comic book, I haven't either, but it still looks like an effing awesome movie. So, wow, I just spoke really, really fast because I'm really, really excited. Really, really excited. And I'm not even on a caffeine high right now, people. Not even. You don't need drugs. Don't do drugs, kids. Stay in school. So also something else I just read recently. Apparently scientists have discovered that there's a certain kind of bacteria that's actually good at causing rainstorms. Now I had this idea a long time ago thinking that it would be a great story to write about these microorganisms that have a sentient being type thing going on where they can actually control the weather. And it comes to find out that there's a kind of bacteria that can actually do that. Better than any other thing in the atmosphere. So, beware of the bacteria, folks. Beware, do not cough into the sky. Just don't do it. For all humankind, just don't do it. Okay, something on a more serious note. This kid in Florida, or whatever, not even a kid, 19 years old, killed himself on Justin TV. What the F, people? Honestly. I mean, I know you can turn any good thing into a bad thing. And that's just a given. It happens all the time with everything. But, honestly, like, what mentality would someone have to have that happen? I'm not blaming him. I'm not blaming the parents. I'm not blaming the internet. I'm just saying there's something wrong with our society when a kid can kill himself on camera, lay there dead for 12 hours before anyone even bothers to call the police. Okay? Even if you're thinking that someone might be even attempting a murder or a suicide or whatever you want to consider these things, call someone. Tell someone. I mean, it's not that hard. You pick up a phone. You can even just go do it online. Some police sites have anonymous links that you can go on. Just warn someone, because if this happens, then you're going to get copycats. You're going to get people doing this across the internet, and it's going to turn the internet into a horrible, horrible weapon. More than it's been already with, scams and whatnot. But I do not want to see the youth of America, including myself, even though I'm 23 years old and very old compared to most of you out there. I'm just saying that we need to do something where there's a positive statement out there. Make it clear. Suicide is not cool, guys. First you had that MySpace girl that killed herself because some woman was harassing her. And now you have this kid who, I remember seeing a statement. He said that he's in love with a girl who doesn't love him. I'm sorry, that's not a good reason to kill yourself. There's always more girls out there. We're about half and half as far as the planet goes, so you're bound to find another one. But at the same time, there needs to be a more positive outlook out there. There needs to be optimism. My life blows right now, okay? There's certain aspects that are great, but there's a lot that blows right now. And I'm trying to focus on the positive, and I think more people should be doing that. And I know that I'm a hypocrite because I haven't done that in the past, but you know what? So what? I'm changing my mentality now, and I think you should too. There, that's a little bit of a rant for you. This thing's coming out really long. I'm already at 10:03, and I probably won't be able to finish this all. So let's consider this the split into Volume 2 of this Blamb Dino Jam. Chicken!